Last time I told you how I faced off against a group of armed men in a rain-soaked alley. They tried to take Ravi, the driver of the suspicious black sedan. But after a tense standoff and a brief exchange of fire, they suddenly retreated into the shadows, disappearing into the night. Ravi was shaken but unharmed. The question that lingered in my mind was, why did they back off so suddenly? As the police sirens grew louder, I turned my attention back to Ravi. He was still trembling, his drenched clothes clinging to his thin frame. "Ravi, listen to me," I said firmly. "You need to tell me everything. Who were they? Why were they after you?" He shook his head, his eyes darting around like he expected the men to reappear at any moment. "I don't know, ma'am. I swear I was just driving." I didn't believe him, not entirely. His fear was real, but there was something he wasn't saying. Before I could press him further, 2 patrol cars screeched to a halt at the mouth of the alley. My backup had arrived. I handed Ravi over to the officers, instructing them to keep him secure and transport him to the station. I needed answers, and Ravi was the key. But first, I had to examine the scene. The alley was eerily quiet now, the rain washing away any obvious signs of what had just unfolded. I scanned the ground with my flashlight, looking for anything that could give me a clue. That's when I saw it, a small, crumpled piece of paper near where the sedan had been parked. I picked it up carefully, shielding it from the rain. The ink was smudged, but I could still make out a few words. "Package delivered, warehouse 42. My heart skipped a beat. This wasn't just a random altercation. This was organized, calculated. But what was the package? And why had they let Ravi live? Back at the station, I interrogated Ravi. At first, he stuck to his story, insisting he didn't know anything. But as the hours passed and the pressure mounted, he finally cracked. "I was hired to drive the car, ma'am," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "They didn't tell me what was in the package. Just gave me an address and told me to stay quiet." "And the men in the alley?" I pressed. They work for someone big. I don't know who, but they're dangerous, ma'am. If they find out I've talked to you, they'll kill me." I leaned back, my mind racing. Whoever these people were, they weren't amateurs. And Warehouse 42, wherever it was, held the key to unraveling this entire mess. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, even within the safety of the station. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I made up my mind. I had to find that warehouse and see for myself what was going on. But I knew this. Whatever I was about to uncover, it was going to change everything. To be continued.